What's up, everyone? I'm Jay White. Thanks for joining us on Ambition Matters. You know, when I was starting to think about starting this channel, this was the first topic that I had in mind, so I thought we better make it the first video. Today, what I want to do is talk about negativity with you. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur or an employee or just a human. I know that you're dealing, maybe not on a daily basis, but on a regular basis with some form of negativity, especially if you're on the entrepreneurial side of things. We come up against negativity and resistance all the time. And not to say that employees don't, just I've been both and I experienced more as an entrepreneur. I mean, negativity comes all the time. It comes in lots of forms. Guys, look, just by me starting this channel, I instantly opened myself up to all kinds of new negativity, right? It's just part of the game. So what I've been able to do over the years is I've been able to find different ways to understand negativity. I want to understand why it's happening so that I can do a few things. Number one, I can have it not hurt so bad, and I can help other people get past it so that we don't lose them to negative words, negative situations. So that's what I want to do today. I want to help you understand why you're getting it and help you get past it. So let's dig in. There's three major areas where negativity comes from. I mean, there are more, but I'm going to say three that I've observed that happen quite often. Here's the first one. What you're going to notice is that people actually think they're helping you, right? When a new person gets started in business, how does that start? Well, we start letting people know what it is that we're doing. Or I start a new job, I'm going to let somebody know what it is that I'm doing. And in a lot of cases, people will be negative to you about that new venture, about that new idea, about that new product, and actually think that they're helping you and saving you from something that they don't understand. When in reality, that's really all that's happening. They don't understand what you're doing. They haven't met who you've met. They haven't seen what you've seen. They don't know what you know. And what in their mind might seem like a scary thing or a risky thing, they want to try and save you from it. Not all negativity comes from a bad place. It doesn't make it feel any better, but it doesn't necessarily, in that instance, come from a malicious spot. So that's number one I see. Number two, you're going to meet a lot of people that have closed minds. You know this to be true. You met with them all the time. You talk to them likely on a daily basis. But I'll give you the example of this fictitious character that I have in my mind called Uncle Frank. You might even have an Uncle Frank. But essentially, here's the scenario with this guy. He's probably spent most of, if not all of his life as an employee working for someone else, and very likely spend all of that time, or at least most of that time, paycheck to paycheck. And you understand that when you spend year after year after year not getting by, watching other people get by, paycheck to paycheck in a job, you can become negative. You've likely worked in a very negative environment with lots of Uncle Franks. So when all of a sudden you decide you're going to make a change, you're going to start getting better at something, you're going to increase your income, you're going to take a chance, you're going to start a business, whatever it is, when you go tell Uncle Frank about it, it really shouldn't be that big of a surprise to you that his mind would be closed to the idea of you doing something he has no idea about and doesn't understand. And it's a very big source of negativity for people, is running into those kinds of closed minds. Number three, perhaps the most disappointing of them all, we're going to call it crab mentality. Unfortunately, humans have crab mentality built into our DNA. Here, I would summarize crab mentality for you like this. If I can't have it, you can't either. So I want you to think about this group of friends that you've had for a long time. You've likely been hanging out with the same 4, 5, 6 people for years, and you have a lot of similarities. Some of you even look the same. You likely do similar things for work. You likely have similar incomes. You probably have similar thoughts about money. You probably do similar things on the weekend. Whatever it is, they're probably really, really similar. And now as you start to venture out and start to grow, start a business, whatever it is that you're going to do, what you're doing is you're breaking these social norms that your group has agreed upon and has lived up to for the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20 years in some cases. And what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to pull you back into the group and get you adhering to the norms of your group again. Right? So when you get started in your business, you say, hey, come on out, check this out. I want you to see what I'm doing, get your opinion on it. And this is something that's completely different from what they're comfortable with doing. They want to pull you back into the group in a lot of cases. And you'll experience some negativity in that way. Well, see what happens when you start to grow and they're not ready to grow. It's like every time that they see you, it's like you hold up a mirror and they see all of the things that they'd like to become. They see all the things they'd like to be doing. They see the ambition they want to have, but are not yet ready to have. And what they're going to do, that's the scariest thing in the world. The scariest thing in the world for someone is that you'll succeed where they won't. And a lot of times what they're going to do is they're going to try to pull you back in to the group. So, hey, look, guys, you're going to have two different groups of people. You're going to have groups of people that believe in you, and you're going to have groups of people that don't believe in you. Right? If you're getting started in a business, I guarantee you've got a coach, you've got somebody that's working with you, pouring belief on you, that's recognizing you for doing a good job, that's doing all these wonderful things that make you feel great. And then you have people being negative. You've got some people that are trying to save you, that don't understand. You've got some people with a closed mind that don't want to see you do well. And you've got some crabs in the bucket trying to pull you back in to the social group. I would side with the people that believe in me over the ones that don't, if I were you. So I'm going to give you a couple things to help you get by this stuff quickly. Number one, you got to realize that resistance comes before success all the time, every time. I mean, if you were to go grab a great autobiography from some successful person, I guarantee you that the first couple of chapters are going to sound something like this. I was so broke, it was so difficult, we almost didn't make it, people were negative, and then the great story happens. All entrepreneur stories happen that way, right? If you're struggling right now, I just want you to realize this, it's just your turn, right? It's just your turn to go through it. Literally what you're doing is you're building your success story that you're gonna be able to tell for years, right? The next thing I want to give you is this. Please understand this to be true. There's not one person on this planet that could make or break you. It literally doesn't matter. If that person that you thought was just going to set the world on fire and make your business a huge success, you call them up and they're negative, I'm telling you, there isn't one person that could do that. There's not one person that'll make you huge, and there's not one person that would take you out, right? The only person I suppose that could do that would be you. And the third technique I guess I'll give you is this. Look, I want you to start spending time working from objective reality. It's time to think about the conversation that you're going into before you go into it. So one of the techniques that I developed over time was this. I would take a look at my call list for the day. Who was I going to reach out to? Who was I going to talk to today? And I would have an idea if they were somewhat negative. You see, here's the interesting thing about people. Most of them are not even interested in what they're doing. It shouldn't really be a surprise when they're not interested in what you're doing. And it's more obvious in some people than in others, right? Some people, you're going to look at that list and you're going, this guy's pretty negative about most things. So when you go into that call, work from objective reality. Realize that there's an opportunity this could go in a direction that you don't want it to go. And that way, when it happens, you can go into it with a great attitude, right? When I get a phone call like that, I look at this list and I go, all right, this guy has a potential to be negative towards me today. I just go in with a great attitude. Hey, let's see how this goes. Let's see if I can help him see things my way. And so objective reality is going to help you not experience the negativity so harshly. It's going to help you be able to get past it a little bit quicker. All right, I want to give you one more technique as we finish up today. It's what to do after you get beat up a little bit with some negative people or by some negative people. And how do you get back to work right away? The worst thing that could happen is, you go into, you get to the office at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning or earlier or later, whatever it is, and you pick up the phone and you get hammered on. I don't want you to lose the day. I don't even really want you to lose, 2 or 3 hours. The less time you can spend on the mat, the more productive, of course, you're going to be. So here's what I want you to consider learning how to do. It's how to reproduce your preferred state. You have one. You've been in it. It's that state where you can't wait to get to the office. You can't wait to knock on the door if that's what you do. You can't wait to present your product. You're ready to go. That is your preferred state, and you must learn how to recreate it. Here's a great tip. I figured this out over time. The next time that you're in your preferred state, take some notes and realize how you arrived there. You know, for me, there's two major things that allow me to reproduce my preferred state when I get out of it. You'll know when you're not in it. You're sitting in your chair doing nothing, thinking about stuff that is not moving your business or your life forward. You're not at that point in your preferred state. When I find myself there, here's what I do. I'll either be in the car with certain music. That's probably pretty universal. You reproduce a preferred state with music. The other one for me is moving, physically moving my body. I'm lucky enough that right down the street from my office, there's a nice gym. So I joined that gym. If I need to reproduce a state, I can just get up, get over to the gym. If I have an hour, I'll do a full workout. If I don't have that much time, I'm just gonna move and feel better so that I can get back at it. So with that, guys, I hope that helped. If you found that helpful, here's what I'm gonna ask you to do, okay? I want you to share this with somebody that needs to hear it. You all likely know somebody that's 1 foot in and 1 foot out of their business, just waiting for that last bit of negativity to knock them out, or somebody that even got knocked out because they experienced something negative and they didn't know how to deal with it. Maybe you could help them get back on track. So I'm gonna ask you to do that. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, please click like, and I look forward to bringing you lots more content over the next months and years. I've been privileged to be coached by some great people over the years, and really, hey guys, I'm not that smart. I'm just gonna be bringing you stuff that I learned from others. So have an awesome day.